All right, then let's go. Alicia Ann Reaney here, out for a walk. Reaney is my little best dog friend. She is a scruffy terrier schnauzer mix. This is Sustainable Events Dog Walk, a short podcast from Positive Impact Event Consulting, where you can get a quick nugget about sustainability for your events and event business while on a walk with Alicia and her dog Reaney. Sustainability is a big project, but we'll get there together, one little step at a time. Today, I'm going to present you another episode of One Small Change Today. This week, let's do decor. One Small Change Today is a little sub-series that I do where I present one small change you can implement immediately in your actions, procedures, thought processes, plans that will immediately start making a positive impact. And today, we're going to talk about decor. So this can cover the full range of anything that you are bringing to your venue that is not pre-existing to decorate the space, be it the greater space or the tablescapes, etc., etc. And the premise of One Small Change Today is to give you a bit of empowerment that you can be making small individual choices and they will have an impact and they do count, and you will be making positive progress in the overall results that your business is bringing, that your clients are seeing, and that it is worth doing one thing better. If everyone can do one thing better, then I'm achieving my goals with this podcast and with my business. So, one small change today, decor. I'm going to be coming at this from the perspective of the current version of the slogan for recycling is reduce, reuse, recycle, rethink. The idea being, bring less. What you do bring, have it be something that's not disposable, but rather reusable, or that can have multiple uses before the end of its lifespan. Recycle, meaning keep its component parts in the materials cycle to be made into something new, even if its original format is not usable anymore. And then rethink, to consider next time if you can bump yourself higher up the ladder. And I've talked about this on the podcast before when it comes to the end of life of everything that you bring on site. This, when you are planning, whether it's your own component as a service provider or you're the greater planner, producer, decorator for an event, the one change that I want you to look at is adding an element into your spreadsheet, into your thought process, into your sequence of questions that asks for every item that you acquire and bring on site, what is the end of its life? What is its disposal method? And you have a specific answer for each item. And it might be, if you've got a big project planned and you add this to your universal spreadsheet, that you are going to go in and answer trash all the way down the line on what you have pre-booked. But as you go forward, at least having to look at that question every time you go to place an Amazon order for knickknacks, every time you consider, how many printed signage items you want, having to look at that and say, okay, this item's disposal is immediate. There is no potential home or reuse for it after this event. You can start to question if that's the best form of decor that you want to be creating and providing. And useful information for you from a psychological standpoint as you're starting to lead through this shift, as you present ideas to your clients, as you're looking at your own vision boards. Come on, let me be in like this. It's being shown over and over that psychologically we are really overstimulated and oversaturated at the moment as individuals. So when you are looking at your design plan, lots of little things, lots of neurotic small bits of decor are going to feel like more overwhelm and are not going to be hitting the spot for your audience, as opposed to big sweeping uniform lighting colors, big uniform choices, lots of matching tablecloths, so that when people look up from being used to this, looking down at your phone and seeing lots of little things, visual
they can see a big cohesive space and not more clutter. So you can really, from a psychological standpoint, make that argument with your clients as they go, oh, but shouldn't there be lots of little knickknacks to get in the way on the tablescape? And you can go, well, no, the clarity in the space also has value, and reducing the junk and the knickknacks that no one's really going to take home. We're all adults. We don't want more little plastic doodads in our life. That's a big expertise benefit that you can bring, and you can really guide them on how effective use of lighting or rentals can have a bigger, more broad impact on their experience. And small little things that designers, we're guilty of it as well. It tickles our fancy to see lots of little uniform things that all blend. But you have to really take a step back and think how much an attendee is going to be able to absorb and collect these little Easter eggs in their mind of all of the pieces that go together, and how much the theme needs to be big picture and how much it needs to be in little pieces, and whether they'll notice. And your audience as well, not just in terms of being attendees, but in terms of what kind of attendees. Are they socially nervous technology people? Are they dispassionate and disinterested in the random knickknacks scientists who want to see impact and value? Are they a bunch of accountants who are trying to get smashed? Playing directly to your actual audience makes a big difference as well. So there you have your one small change today, adding onto your spreadsheet, what is the end of life of every single item you bring on site. And of course, for the rentals, that means go straight home to the rentals. And for the catering, hopefully it means either you or the catering company has a system to go straight home to compost or to a farm to be used as compost. But every single thing that comes on site that didn't pre-exist at your venue should be having this question asked about it. So I would love to know what you think, if this feels like not a small change, or if you feel like, okay, this is the right direction that I've maybe started going but haven't committed fully to. If you are listening in real time in 2025, thank you so much for your patience. While I have been battling whatever sort of respiratory infection I had going on, I am almost fully clear of it. My sinuses are still finishing off the final embers. I look forward to talking to you next week, where I share more sustainable event tips, tricks, recommendations, ideas, and philosophy. See you then.
Thanks for joining me on Sustainable Events Dog Walk. I'm Alicia Druby, founder of Positive Impact Event Consulting, and I want to help you integrate sustainability into your event business so you're ready to make every event you work on more sustainable. See you next time.